Hey, how's it going? I am live for a little bit. I'm gonna be working on this piece that you saw me working on over here. This is the Kaiju King, basically Kaiju King channel, and I'm gonna go over it. I'm gonna go over some kind of like details here for a little bit. Not gonna be live long. I'm only be live for like 10 minutes. So if you're there, say hey, what's up? Or if you're seeing this on replay, say hey, what's up? I'm gonna start going live now. If I get responses off here, I will absolutely go live all the time. So sweet. So what I'm using is I'm using this Sharpie marker and I'm going in now. Now we have our base, right? We have like Space Godzilla drawn over here fighting King Kong, but we're going to focus on Space Godzilla because that's how much fits on the page. And I'm going to find like small shadows here in order to really start, pulling out of these shadows. I think that's a pretty good idea. All right. And does it have to be vertical? I think it does, right? I'm like, man, why does it have to be vertical, this picture? I wish it was like the other way. I'm gonna find a shadow underneath the armpit, right? I already got one over here. And the reason I do that is because it's an easy point to put ambient occlusion, right? Ambient occlusion is kind of those really dark points between cracks and stuff like that. It's the absolute like dark. And it's just a good idea to put those in because it gives the drawing a lot more of a punchiness to it than it normally wouldn't have. Down over here, pulling up. All right. And going over here. And what we're doing is we're just kind of repairing stuff because the first time I went through this on the actual tutorial, right, it was like, okay, we're just getting it done. And there's still a time limit on it. I think time was like 10 minutes there. But now it's like you can take your time. We go back at it. We're just kind of more or less kind of going into these different features. And it's just fun to do when we're doing this. Right on. He has this bizarre shaped stomach as well. Hey, what's up? I see somebody in here. First live ever. Say what's up. Say how's it going, and I'll say hi back, or hit the like for the live. All right. And I'm doing this without reference of Space Godzilla, by the way. So I'm kind of thinking like from memory. I'm like, all right, what was going on? Like right here, the hand is easy. All I have to do is kind of like figure that out. Like there's some folds on the hand, right? That's simple. That's basically like a human hand or a smaller, stubbier human hand. He's got these claws. Don't forget to hit the like if you're watching. Definitely helps the channel out. And yeah, it's going to let me go live a lot more. All right. Curving here. I'm working. It's so funny. For the last month, I've been working on a kaiju head drawing lesson. Going over. So I had a free, right? Actually have, and I'll put the link in the description once I post this. But I have a free how to draw Godzilla, the legendary Godzilla, the new version of Godzilla, just the head drawing, right? And I have that. It's free worksheets to kind of look at and to kind of reference anytime you want. I will put that in the description. I don't even know if I have it on the site anywhere, but it's these kind of worksheets essentially to follow along to, and so that you're never going to get lost. You can always draw that character from your mind's eye. That's kind of the plan for that. But I'm creating, at least the last month, I've been working on 5 other characters, and I want to put it to one ebook and kind of put it out there as well for people to pick up. And it's putting 5 other kaiju, and the 5 other kaiju I picked were Showa Godzilla, which was the Godzilla, right? The Showa era, the old version. Then the Shin Godzilla, like one of my favorite versions of Godzilla ever. Maybe my favorite version, honestly. Then King Kong, and then like new version of King Kong, and then whatchamacallit, Ghidorah. Obviously, one of Ghidorah's heads, right? Because once you draw one, you draw them all. And then what's the last one? Ghidorah, and then Gamera. I just threw Gamera in there because I really like Gamera. So I think Gamera's pretty popular, to be honest. So yeah. Anyways, good stuff. Right on. Gonna go over here now, and thinking about looking at him now, what you want to do is you want to go in and then come out, right? You want to go in, put in some small details, and you have to use a fine point version of the marker, by the way, to kind of get this stuff. And then you pull out, and let me see, is there a chat? I can't even see the chat. I cannot see the chat on this thing. If you say something, I'm not sure I can see it. Forgive me. Chat top. But definitely say what's up in the chat if you're there. Kind of lets me know that the sound is okay. That's another thing. I'm having like major sound issues. I don't know what's up with the sound. Like I was getting this weird buzzing sound, which I really hope it's not going on now. But I was getting this weird buzzing noise throughout. Like, so I had to like fix my phone. That took a while. Line right here. There we go. Line right there. We're kind of putting in. It's funny too because we're talking about folds and stuff around Godzilla's neck and the body. You're trying to make it not even, right? You want to make it look as organic as you can. But it's weird because, like, hey, how's it going, Anika? Oh wow, thanks. Perfect. I can see. Okay, I can even see the chat too. I didn't know that. Sound is great. Don't worry. Thank you so much, Anika. Um, but forgot what I was talking about as well. What was I talking about? Hold on. Before that, let's see. Oh, so your mind naturally wants to make things look, I don't know, even. Like if you ask yourself, like if you ask anybody who's not an artist to draw like a row of trees, what are they gonna do? They're gonna draw a row of trees like very evenly, right? Very evenly across everything. That's kind of what they're gonna do. So it's funny how, but the mind doesn't like looking at it. It's weird how the mind will automatically offer that up, evenly, but it doesn't like looking at it in art or anything like that. So what you're trying to do is make it more convincing. Why is my friend texting me like crazy right now? Uh, maybe I'll turn this thing on. I guess I can do airplane mode or something, right? My other friend is like texting me like crazy. But anyways, um, but yeah, so that's the kind of thing. So when we're talking about organic stuff, like especially kaiju, right? Because these guys are all organic, they're all animal-like. You're a big part of this is trying to make it not that even, little features like this. So even these little scratches on his arms, they could be a little bit more different here. Maybe you can make one a little bit thicker right there. Pull the lines a little bit longer on one side. Maybe again you can make it another thicker. You're trying to make them look uneven, but to a point where it's satisfactory. You don't have to go wild. You don't have to like think that hard about it. His hand right here is way too small, right? See, these are errors I see after. His hand is way too small, so I would extend his finger a little bit as much as I can. Right there. And over here. Just kind of like doing some technique to be like, okay, what would extend his fingers there just a bit and make it look like the front of it's in shadow. I don't know, it's kind of going off the page here, so let's go over to stay on the page. And then, yeah, the more you do this, you get close to these 2 points. One, you get close to either destroying the drawing entirely, because sometimes you draw so much dark stuff, so, it's so scratchy looking, it's so weird that it breaks a drawing, which you have to be careful of, or it'll just, make it look better. It's funny too, because it can look better, and boom, you break it. Like you just like put too much dark all over the place. And you're like, oh, that's just too much. It's you overworked it, right? I know I've seen people do that. I've done that myself. Like it's pretty common to do that. I mean, it's pretty common to do that at the beginning, right? And to be honest, I'll be honest, you're gonna have to do that at some point. You're gonna have to break a few eggs, right, to make a omelet. Is that the metaphor? I don't know the metaphor. But what are you guys working on? Are you guys working on anything specific? Do you guys have any specific goals you have? You guys just like kaiju art in general, or like do you guys have any goals? Like I don't know if Anika's still there or not, maybe not. But do you have any goals? Does anybody have any goals? Anyone want to put them in the comments and I can reply to them later? I'm gonna reply to every single comment, by the way. That's gonna be my goal, to reply to everything. Everything. I just love the whole. I love that whole thing. See, another thing here I would do is put his lower body into shadow. I'd probably like, God, can we do it here? Let's do it right now. Can I go like this big, whatever belly thing going on, right? We can kind of put that into shadow because the sun's coming from above, right? So gradually it's going to get darker and darker as it goes down. So something you want to learn about drawing is about decision making, right? There's no one right way to do something. So I don't know. I've heard this from Robert McKee. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he trained a lot of screenwriters, and he made a couple of books on. It's more about writing, but he said this thing about writing, and I was like, wow, this is so perfect for drawing. Basically, he said, so when it comes to stuff like this, uh, there's rules and there's principles. A rule says that you have to do it this way, but a principle is something like a technique or something where this has worked and it's a good way to do it, right? And it has worked for almost everyone that does it this way. So when we go over the drawings of basics, they're not like you don't have to follow them, and there might be other ways to do it, but it does work, and it's a good thing to adhere to. Those do work. So they're like principles, like there's no 100%, you know what I'm saying? So I remember hearing that and I was like, whoa, that's wild. I love that phrase because that's the way I see all this stuff, Some people just draw from their, just kind of looking at it visually and they can do that, but a lot of people just can't do it like that. A lot of people need to know the anatomy, and it just looks better overall when you know some level of anatomy. It really does. It looks a lot better. Um, and yeah, it just looks like you know what you're doing more. It looks like, and you can draw it from different angles, and you just know more of the ins and outs. It's pretty wild. I have my artist teacher in high school, who's currently one of my best friends. He he uh he just doesn't know any anatomy, which is crazy, right? Like it's wild. Like, but he's so good. It's amazing. You don't have to know that, but it helps a lot, right? For monsters, for kaijus, it definitely helps with at least the arm anatomy and stuff like that. Like when you look at Kong, right? He's a pretty muscular. I was gonna say dude. He's a pretty muscular animal. So I mean, yeah, and it's very humanoid, right? What is he again? Chimpanzee. That's funny. He's a gorilla, right? He's kind of like a monster gorilla as well, by the way. He's not straight up a gorilla. If you look at King Kong from like that Peter Jackson movie, that was like a straight up gorilla, right? Like he's hunched forward. He's like walking on, like with his knuckles and stuff like that. And but like when you look at Kong in like the Godzilla, Kong fighting Godzilla recently, he's like a humanoid kind of gorilla going on. He's got like this humanoid version. You know what I mean? Like he stands upright too much, so he's kind of like this monster gorilla kind of thing, humanoid chimpanzee. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I was only going to go live for like 10 minutes to try it out. I'm going to try to go live every day if you'll have me, okay? But the more you respond, the more you say, hey, what's up? The more you like let me know what's going on, the more I will come on here, okay? I'll see you soon. I'll try to be here tomorrow. So let me know. Bye, guys. Let me turn this off. Let me like get this off here. I don't know how to turn this off. How do I turn this off? Let's see. I have no idea how to turn this off, guys.